Legends. How are we? Just got my little massage ball. Just doing a little bit of lat release before I get in there. Shitty week 10. Got, obviously, as you saw, Hoffa's syndrome, which we're going to go through. But before we do, let's check out this front squat that I started the week with on Monday. Check this 175 out. Not bad, eh? That was that front squat. 175. So I think that was like a lifetime PR. We're working off like a 182 or something because of the clean and jerk and the snatch numbers. But I don't think I'd hit that before previously for at least 3 years. And I think I hit a 175, 180 once for one. But I think that's a double PR. Felt pretty good. Obviously looked dog shit towards the end. That spine and midline just breaking down. And I do have to be careful with that because I've got some obviously lower back issues from years of this stuff. Hoffa syndrome. So all good, felt good for the front squat. The next day, I felt like probably a bit nervy through my lower back and my hips. And normally when that happens, because I've got some issues, I'll step it back and deload a bit. So went in, hit the snatch and the clean and jerk on the Wednesday with Ollie. I'll do some accessory work, which I'll show you. A couple of pull-ups here. Yeah, so that was the accessory circuit. Had some strict pull-ups in it, weighted cluster sets. So that strict pull-up you saw was like a cluster set, sort of like to get volume in, bulk volume, but not having to go unbroken. So let's say you wanted to do 8 strict pull-ups, you could do say 4, 30-second rest, then 4. So you're still trying to get that time under tension, but you're not asking your forearms to overload. You're not trying to overreach. So you're trying to get, let's say my max set was say 7. I can go 8 with that 30-second rest and get more total volume in a cluster set. Do that on squats as well and things like that. But yeah, also in that circuit, I had some single leg step ups on the dumbbells with some dumbbells. So I had the box set up at a specific height, would plant the foot and then raise the other leg up, almost like a step drive. And on the negative, it felt a little bit grindy on this front of the patella here. And by the time I woke up on Thursday, I pretty much just had like a dull ache the whole way through sort of the front of the knee, not underneath like a patella tendonitis or irritation of that tendon, more directly as if I'd been punched in that kneecap. And then obviously went and saw the guru, Pete Farmer, my physio. If you don't know the guy, he's got a pretty cool podcast on the Cohort cast. If you haven't seen that, stick this ball under my knee here, give it a squeeze. Yeah, and he sort of said that I had Hoffa syndrome, which is where the fat pad underneath the knee gets irritated or squashed. And then you have a pretty serious pain in there. Almost like if you were to touch the fat pad, it's like a 10 out of 10, like bang, nerve response. I think I got some footage of some stuff we were doing to release that, almost like a dry TENS machine. If I've got it, I'll drop it in here now. But if not, yeah, so it's just, we worked on that to release the nerve sensation. We moved the patella a fair bit up and down. So just pulling, I'll see if I can, just grabbing that knee and literally just shifting that kneecap. I'm trying to elevate it as I do it to grab a bit of movement on top and free up that fat pad underneath. And that came good. It's been a week today and I'm going to do some stuff on it today. Nothing too crazy, but all the inflammation seems to have gone. There's a little bit of protective mechanism, like a little bit of a scared to squat and stuff like that, just because it's been inflamed. I didn't take anti-inflammatories and stuff like that this time. Obviously high dose fish oil and I'm currently off the sugar. So yeah, that's helping a bit, but I probably will, if it does flare up a little bit, I will take some sort of anti-inflammatory to get some inflammation out of it. I try not to, but if it impedes my training more than a week and a half, then obviously I start to get that transition out of that strength phase. So I want to try and keep that going. So I'll let you know how I go today, but for that, make sure you Google Hoffa syndrome, check it out. That was my week 10, pretty rough week. So starting today to finish that week because I didn't quite make it to the end. And then, yeah, I'll see you next week for week 11.